That's right. It's Sunday. Time for a little sitting and bullshitting. Satu style. How y'all doing? All right, so I had done some earlier this week that I wanted to ship off. So I did a little snippet video. I'm going to insert it. And then I had another box that came in. Denise wanted me to do an unboxing on it. So I did a video of it then too. So I'm going to splice both those in right now. So it's midweek. I got to send a few things back. So I'm just going to video them real quick. So we'll start with Billy's fixed blade. I don't even remember what it's called. The shed nice. I don't know, whatever it's called. Anyway, it was hollow ground before. It was very, very like shallow this way, not tall. So I just flat ground it. I was unsure. I was going to flat ground and then come back behind and hollow ground. But it's really hard to tell what they're going to do with this. Like, you don't buy a knife, 1/4 inch stick, and this small to be like a skinner. But could you? I guess. So I don't know. We're going to start here. If he doesn't like what this is ground like, he can send it back. You know, we constantly send stuff back and forth anyhow. But I want to pack this up and get it sent back to him. So flat ground, as you can see, kind of has a little smiley. Reminds me of, what's that cat? My smiley cat? I don't know. I'm just talking crazy. Anyhow, not bad. I think it turned out pretty decent for what it was. That's the first time I flat ground in a while too. I was like a little rusty on that. So we'll go to Mr. Don's knives, D&K Don. So we ended up not doing anything to this one. The only option I thought I could probably do is just do a brush finish on the blade, or like a belt satin basically on it to just chase what was already there. But the regrinding on this, I just think it's, for me, it's too thin without a taller wheel than what I have. So call it skill, call it not the right equipment, whatever the case may be. But remember we were talking about, I thought it needed a little lock bar tension. So now it's got, I just added more lock bar tension. It's got a decent detent now. I think you heard it a minute ago. So it sucks it back in much better. No play on the lock, none here. Like hands off the lock bar totally. So you can see that it's nice and solid now. So it just needs a little more lock bar pressure. So nothing really done other than just tweaking it to make it function better, but nothing done as far as the grind goes on that one. And this next one, I was actually worried if Don was going to like it or not. Like, I don't know Don that well, and I told him as much when I talked to him. You know, I shot a little video for him earlier today. But I think even on that, when I first showed it, I didn't really ever go into detail about it. But the blade had a huge sharpening choil in it, like it was ginormous. For whatever reason, for my eyes, I just didn't like that. And I started looking at the knife. I kind of got creative. So hopefully. Well, I think Don likes it. Hopefully you guys will too. We got a little fancy with it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So I redid the blade profile, as you can see, and almost recurve it and put a little bit more belly in the front of it. So it's way different now than what it was. So I think it kind of looks more piratey looking. Hopefully he likes it. Everything works for him, but I think it looks cool as hell. Like as a whole, it's a unique looking knife, and I wanted it to be even more unique. That like the, I guess, traditional cleaver Warncliffe kind of thing that was on the front of it just didn't match for me, man. I like this much better like this. Much better. So hopefully he likes it. He said he did. Hopefully you guys like it. But anyway, this thing is super, super thin now. It's ridiculous thin now. So pretty deep. Let me see. Well, I can see if I can shoot it this way. Cameras might be too bit. Yeah, the phone's not high enough up, so can't really get too much crazier than that. But I wanted to show that one off. That was a fun one to do. That was a very good challenge for me, both to reprofile and to grind that odd shape and everything. So that was a fun one. That was a real fun one. So thanks, Don. I appreciate you sending that stuff, man. Hope they serve you well. This one, I didn't really do anything as far as the grind does. This is BGM reground. The Hess was, or Urban Hess or whatever it was done before I started learning how to grind. So it's a good knife that I've learned how to compare to. The problem with this one was it had detent rock. And so I ended up making a stop pin on this one. When they did the stop pin, it worked better. And see how it's got like a little bit in it right now? When all that out, which I did, I had it all out, the blade stuck up. So as you run your finger across, I can see, you probably see it catching my finger right here, just the tip of it. It was catching. So I ended up having to take the blade and on the backside where the stop pin hits, just kind of relieve it a little bit to get it to kind of get in there. So you can still kind of catch it a little bit, but and it's got a little bit, just that ever so slight, but really when you just pick it up and hit it, you can't feel it at all. So it did also, because you're making the stop pin bigger on the closed side, on the open side, it also affects it, so it's less engaged now, which is what it needed because it was traveling over far. So hopefully that one's good. This was going to be in the giveaway. I don't know if the giveaway's already happened or not, but there we go. All right, that's 5 minutes worth of video for this weekend. Hey, what's up, man? So Denise sent a package. She wanted me to do an unboxing. I forgot. I got home last night at like 8:30. It's not like 5 in the morning, get ready for work today. Chilling with Sammy today. Sammy don't usually show up in the videos, but he's chilling today. And yeah, he's alive. Somebody else asked if the cat was alive. He's alive. He probably ain't gonna move much, but he's alive. But anyway, Denise wanted me to show you what she sent, or she wanted me to do an unboxing. I forgot when I came home last night, so it is what it is. But basically everything came in one of these. It would take me a minute to cut them on package, cut them open live or video anyhow. So I'll just show you. So the first thing that I got was something from Sitn Company. Looks like those kind of koozies that wrap like that. Cool. Definitely can use these. Mine go in water bottles, not beer bottles, or beer cans. But you know, hey, it is what it is. A couple of heater. I think it's like wristband kind of things. I don't know what they're using for, to be honest with you. But cool things. Don't know what this one came through. Iron sharpens iron. Man of God. So I'm not sure where that coin comes through, or whatever, a shield, whatever you want to call it. But we'll hang it up in the wall. A couple sweets. Oh, looks like stuff that Mateo sends when he sends stuff. I don't know what these are. Hachus. I mean, they look pretty good, but whatever. All right, get to the nitty gritty. So luckily, she was able to put knives on. Knives. So, my brain's not functioning yet. She puts a note. She put a note on everything. So everything coming like little packages. This is this right here. So y'all can read that. Hopefully you so. So this is just a fixed thing, and I'm stuck at front flippers, so I can't even do it, even with a good knife. But she just wanted to know about late lockup on this one, and you can see right there, super late lockup. No assessment yet, but it does, even in late locked up, has blade play. So something different needs to be done on that one. So we'll look into that and see what we can't figure out on that one. I've never heard of this maker either. Carl, I don't know, Pinar maybe? I don't know. Not up on that. But definitely cool to check out something like that. Okay, so these two are regrinds. So y'all remember that Yvonne sent one of these a while back. If I can get it out of this pouch here. All right, so one of these, he sent one of these on the while back. TS, what should you say, 346. So this is just a regrind and stonewash. So I don't know if she wants acid stonewash or stonewash, but we'll do something with it. I like doing this knife last time. It was fun. So I might do something slightly different this time. Maybe like a full hollow. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to do something different with this one though, because I don't think I want to do the exact same thing. Like, it's kind of boring, right, to do the exact same thing. I mean, it still reps, but it's cool. TS 390 stonewash, if possible. So, okay, this was going to be a lot like the Vero. So, in the same week, two knives that I basically can't do because, I don't know, I might be able to do this one, but it's such a tall grind for the 10-inch wheel and such thin blade stock. I mean, it's way thinner, so I don't know. This is going to be a struggle. I might be able to do this and I might not. I'm not sure. The 346, no problem, because the blade stock on it is much thicker. Let's do the comparison real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So the height of the grind is probably about the same. So the tallness wise is probably about the same, maybe slightly taller on this one. But you see how much more material I got to work with? Hopefully that comes up. Let's see if I can go over here. There we go. There's a lot more material there on the 346 on this one than this one. So it'll take a deeper hollow grind. So I don't know. I got to play with it. So I hate not being able to do people's work, but I don't want to mess your knives up too if I don't think I can do it right. Okay, these were just knives that she sent for me to check out that were other people's grinds, which is really cool for me because basically, like, I'll see my grinds, BGM grinds, and then this is a Cron grind. So if you don't know, I think his name's Tom Cron. And he always marks his too. But he's been in knife making for eons, done regrinds as long as I've been in knives. So it's cool to see his work, to see what he does.
And it's funny because I always thought they would be way thinner and that sort of thing. I mean, this you can look at this grind, see how the quality is there. I mean, it looks like just like it came from Spyderco pretty much, right? Like it's money as far as regrinds go. You know, I never really thought these knives were super thick behind the edge anyhow. They're kind of sort of the way I like them as it is. But this one's actually not the progression, like how he thinned it down, how he went to it. It's not that bad really. Like I thought it would be much thinner than what it is, but definitely good looking grind and a cool knife. I don't know really what are these called, shamans. I haven't owned a shaman in almost 2 years now. The last one I owned was just like I had it for a brief period of time. I went to Blade Show and gave it to my buddy. So I like the knives. It's just one of those ones that just never stick around for me. I believe is this a shaman too? Yeah, isn't it? Shit, I don't even know, dude. Yeah, this has got to be Sean. Yeah. And this one was Jonah's Creations. So he calls this one the Israel regrind. So it's real coarse, flat regrind. All refinished, acid stone washed, or acid washed, I guess you just say. It wouldn't be stone washed. I guess part of it's, I guess maybe an acid and then a brush afterward. I don't know what he did to make it this coarse with that. That's kind of a neat finishing. And of course the handles have been redone. So I'm assuming these are stock handles, just retweaked, I guess, repurposed, however you want to call it. And I've seen some of the stuff that Jonah's done now, and he does really good work now. But I'm assuming this is all basically a stock one that he just turned into this custom, which is really cool to see his work too. I like the finishing on this one, man. The finishing, and both those regrinds, like, I mean, obviously the blade shape changed on the Jonah's, but both the regrinds on those are really good looking regrinds. Both flat. I don't do enough flat regrinds. So this one, basically she sent just for thumb studs. This is a sick little solo, man. I love solos. When you get the right one, it's just like, so this is a thick, chunky boy. This is not one of the newer, thinner ones. This is one of the old ones, thick ones. And then the grind on this one, yeah. This is my favorite grind from any dieware like that real kind of recurve Tonto thing and real pronounced tip right here. This is just cool grind. But anyway, she wants thumb studs so she can actuate with a hand, so it's not just flipper only. I believe I can do that pretty easy. There's a couple ways of going about that. So this is pressed in, so I can press it out, basically preserve it. If it needs to go back in, you can press it back in, and then make a new one, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. And basically just take the size, mimic the size, and then make it taller and step it so you get a little thumb stud right there. It's not much more material, but you know. And the other thing you can do is basically machine this to accept a thumb stud, like a different add-on thumb stud, which is another option I'll probably throw past her to see if she wants to do it or not, but we shall see. All right, 7.5 minutes of early morning discussion.
All right, so this is kind of an effort to explain why I can't grind and can grind some flat grind knives, right? So if it's a full flat grind like this, and you got to come up behind it and put a arc in it, you know, to get all the way to the top of that. You see how much straighter this has to be in order to do this arc? Like if you're in an 8-inch wheel, you're only going to get something like this. I'm not going to be able to get that full height. This is like looking at the blade, like cross section of the blade. But if you got a chunky boy like this with more meat on it and a shallower grind, it's way easier to take that same angle and get that peak. But you want, see, I drew it wrong, but the peak of this angle, let's see if I can explain this better. Here, let's try this. All right, so we got a cup, big on the top, small on the bottom. So we'll draw that same angle. You don't want the peak of this, the arc, like I drew a minute ago. You don't want the thinnest part to be here. You want the thinnest part to be here, right? So basically only half your diameter, or whatever wheel you're using, it starts at the peak, or starts at the tip, and then works its way back up. So you're embossing the size of that wheel into the blade. Like that's how you do it. That's why 10 inches is different than 8 inches, 12 inch, etc., etc. The smaller the diameter is, the shallower you're going to be able to get, but also the deeper it's going to seem hollow, if that makes sense. So if this was just if this was our primary bevel, then you're putting in a grind, you could put it in super deep and get thin right there at the tip. Hopefully this makes sense to you. Hope it gets real thin. But if you're doing a bigger bevel, a bigger wheel, you know, it's gonna come up taller before it gets to that same thing. So the taller the grind is already on your knife, like I was talking about that Tucson from Denise a minute ago. Let me just grab it real quick if I can find it. As tall as that knife is, this is the wrong package, of course. As tall as that knife is, it's too thin, and I'll show you the difference what I mean here. So I kind of sort of went over it in video, but you got this chunky guy that's to this height right here. So with a 10-inch wheel, I'm really pushing to be able to get this height and still keep the arc right and not get too thin behind here. Because if I move it up, like I was showing in that demonstration a minute ago, if this arc starts moving up here, it's going to be too thin behind the edge and actually get thicker. It's going to be like that, get thicker right at the edge. But this would be too thin behind the edge, and this will prone to break. So that's why you can't really grind super high flat. This was a challenge the first time. Not only that, because of the detent trackers were pretty much right there behind it too. But it's a challenge to get this height. So on this one, this other Tucson, which is this is the 390. On this 390. I'm working with a lot less material to start with, so I don't have that luxury of being able to get this height. It's too thin already to get that height. And this one's actually pretty dang thin behind the edge anyhow. It doesn't need a ton behind it. Now, I could finish this differently for her, but to grind it, it's not really going to work. So when you guys think about sending stuff in for regrinds, realize that, you know, first of all, I'm still an amateur. I'm not a professional, so I'm still learning and growing as we're doing this. But this height right here would require probably something like a 24-inch wheel or something like that to be able to grind that, because basically it's going to be a less deep hollow grind in order to make it from this bevel all the way to that bevel to your finished bevel. That's the only way you can do it. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Hopefully that does. But basically, I try a different way with the cup. Okay, so if I'm holding this cup half the arc, this is the bigger side of it. I'm just going to draw it in here real quick. Okay, and then the smaller side, if I use the exact same method I was doing a minute ago, basically half the diameter, you can already see the difference here, right? And that's just a rough sketch, but you see the difference in the heights with the wheels, basically ending at the same point, but going up higher. So if I mimic this, you could see it would stay shallower or thinner behind the edge, but go up deeper. Same, this will be shallower with a smaller wheel. So this is say like an 8-inch, 10-inch, and you can just project that over and over in order till you get that height that you need to be able to come in here and do this arc. Like I've seen some people use like, I think 20-something inch wheels, like some of the South African makers, maybe Arnold Bernard or something like that. They use like a 20-something inch wheel. Like all these different ways of grinding, they all have advantages and disadvantages, right? Just like everything. Hopefully that's something that makes sense to you guys. So when you think about sending stuff in for a regrind, if it's thin stock and it's super tall grind already, like I'm thin stock, you know, I'm saying somewhere around an eighth. This is probably thicker than an eighth. I'm guessing this is like 145, 150,000, something like that. If you're sending something like that thick, but it's ground super tall like that, there's not a whole lot left that a regrinder can do with it. At least not one of my caliber anyhow. Like, you know, if you're a master regrinder, maybe you can do something. But this is my outtake, my reason why I'm not touching this one, but I will do this one.
I don't know, maybe I confused you, maybe I helped you some. Sometimes it's hard for me to vocalize what I'm thinking. I don't know, it is what it is. But this is now Sunday. The other videos I showed you were obviously earlier this week. So in regarding to the stuff I got from Denise, the Solo now has the studs on it. So I just basically made a whole new stud with steps on the side. Hope you can see that. And they just basically press in. Pretty much exactly the same as what he does on his. Problem is, this is such a stout detent that you can't, even though they're on there, you can't actuate them at all. Like there's nothing, I'm pushing pretty hard. I can't get it. There, oh, I got a thumb stud. Okay, so it's pretty tough to get this. It's not really wanting to go, you know, it's like, and I'm getting a pretty good bite on it, but it's not easy. So the detent's too tight for that. So she asked me to lighten the detent, but I'm not really sure how to go about that to make it still a good detent and light. So I'm gonna have to look into that, but I got the studs made for that one. And the other one she showed was that South African, or the one I showed earlier, was that South African one that had that late lock up. The front flipper one, Carl, whoever it is. And so I made a new stop pin on this one, similar to what I did on that Urban Hest I showed you earlier. I'm not best at all that, but now it's probably close to, let's say 30, 40%, something like that. Locks up solid, no play in it. So she's got a little life left in it now. I could have made a bigger one. I was worried about even the size that I made, because I went basically almost 30 thou oversized from where the stock pin diameter was, which is 15 thou radially. When you normally do that, you lose the detent, and you'll have to come back in behind. And I thought, like I did on the Hest, I would have to take a file and kind of file out relief for where that pin sits. Basically, take 15 thou off the underside of the blade. But this one actually kind of worked out just fine. Like the detent seems like it sucks it in actually better now. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna say it's a great detent, but it sucks it in better now. So I got that one pretty much worked out for her. Obviously, I hadn't done those regrinds yet because y'all just saw those, but I'm gonna try to get on those this afternoon. I got company coming later on, so may or may not get to those. Giveaway time. Let's figure out how we're gonna do this real quick and do this giveaway.
All right, so it's giveaway time. Y'all know I got to do something different. It's just my nature. So you see a whole deck of cards out there. I'm going to pan a little bit so you can see them. Whole deck of cards. It's pretty obvious, the whole deck of cards. All right, I got to climb over the other side, so bear with me 1 second here. I'm doing this kind of like a little more fun, a little more of a gamble thing. So first of all, before we do anything else, what are we playing for? All right, I should have done it while I was on the other side, dumbass. So Cole gave this one a while back for a giveaway, practice knife. So SR1 lightweight. I did the hollow ground on this one, left the tip alone, so you still got that same pretty much robust tip at the top, but a pretty decent working edge right here on the hollow ground there. So the SR1 lightweight's gonna go. And then also that Hest that I was showing you guys earlier, this is the American made. Does have tie connector studs on it, regrind by BGM. I'll put a new stop pin in it, but I think this thing will be good to go for whoever wants to use it. I think it's a cool little knife. Whoever wins it should like it. I did make that blade go in there a little better, like I was talking earlier in the video. I did go ahead and fix it, make it go in better. So I think that's a good solid knife now. The EXOM or whatever, what are they called? XOKs, the one that Carco donated. So it's got the trainer. It's also got this one, the real one in there too. This is just a weird old knife, but the whole set of those comes. They're fun to play with. So we have those are the three you're definitely going to get. And we're going to add a little spice to it because I like being different and spicy when I can. So here's all the names. Hopefully you see your name on there. I try to write everything in and hope this makes sense. But this is the clubs, these are the diamonds, these are the spades, continue to here, and then there's one heart. So for draw another card, any one of those other hearts besides the ace of hearts, I'm going to give this 0456 too. So it's basically like the odds are in your favor to win this one as well. But this will throw it in if the first card I draw is one of those other hearts. So hopefully we'll draw that one and we will give that one away too. If not, we'll give it away later. I'll go back to this list in a second. I'm just going to set it off to the side so I can shuffle these cards a little bit. Now, if you're watching this thinking Dave's got it rigged, he knows what he's doing with cards, I can assure you that I can't even shuffle worth of shit. So I'm going to do the best I can to try to mix this up a little bit and make it fun for everybody. And hopefully y'all dig what I'm trying to do here and just have a little fun. It's basically like, this is just to give back to the community, man. I've thanked all you guys a ton of times, but truly the people that have sent knives in or just even bullshit in the comments, just help me keep the channel going. Like, it's a huge, huge thank you from me to you. Like, you hear a lot of YouTubers say that, but man, if you're on the other side, if you've never done YouTube or any of this social media stuff, you kind of put yourself out there, man. So like, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good, but honestly, man, like as a whole, like it's drove me deeper into the hobby, and I just can't thank everybody enough. It's just one of those things. Like, I wouldn't be handling half the knives. I probably wouldn't even know about half the knives I know about if it wasn't on social media. The friends you meet, it's just this cool ass community, man. So this is my thank you to everybody at this point. So how are we gonna do this? I don't know. Let's say we got them all shuffled up. Let's just spread them all out. Let's spread everything out. You obviously can see I can't see the cards at all, right? We're just gonna mix them up best we can. Oh man. I wish I had somebody else here to draw the card, but once again, there's not. So now I'm just gonna reach in the middle. Just grab this one. Queen of Hearts. Okay, that means the 0456 is in on the deal. So you're getting 4 knives now. So I'm gonna put this one aside. So off screen, mix these up a little more. If I draw another heart, I had to find another knife to put in this thing, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna get me expensive pretty soon here. All right, so now then, let's try this again. Let's go with this guy right here. I don't know which one this is, but Ace of Hearts. All right, so Warm Vaquero. See it right here? Worm Vaquero. You left a comment on it, you win, bro. So hook me up send me an email on either Instagram or Facebook. I'm sure you're on one of those. If you're not, let me know. We'll see if we can't figure out email to send it to. But you want all the nice, bro. So hope y'all enjoyed that giveaway. It's kind of fun for me. Hope it's fun for you guys. All right, so to conclude, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the Satu Dave giveaway. I know it was a little bit different, but you know that's my nature and as a whole. Try to be a little different than everybody else. It's kind of my thing, I guess. I got a huge box of knives from Steve Clary loaned in. This video is already too long anyhow, so I'm gonna wait and do a separate video of it. So basically, hope y'all have a great week. Hope y'all getting prepared for Christmas. All right, y'all be cool. Later.